Welcome back, y'all. This is Celerity Clarity with yet another 411 update for you, collective. So I got this download today while I was cooking dinner, and I could feel a lot of energy. A lot of it was very passionate, if not at least filled with rage. So with that, I feel like collective here is dealing with someone who no longer has control. And so they are grasping at straws. They are pulling out all the reserves right now. And they're going to do their best to make you act out of character. I think it is important to remember who you are, where you've been, how far you've come, and why this person is acting the way they're acting. Not necessarily just to rationalize and intellectualize this individual's reactions to you just simply living your life, it seems. I don't really feel like you have much connection to this person anymore. And again, they are just trying to pull out all the stops in order to gain at least a little bit of control again. It feels like they, once upon a time, could have had a lot of control over you, collective. And you essentially bursted their bubble by either relocating or by them being relocated. And we'll get into that a little deeper. But for now, I did want to focus on unraveling that energy and just reminding collective of who the fuck they are, where they came from, and how well they're doing. So let's go ahead and jump right in.
I am never going to financially recover from this.
All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and get into our mantra. I cloak myself in a chiffon of pink. I ask my spirit guides, ancestors, deities, angels, and Mother Nature grant me a protective glimmer, so I may think and so that I may shimmer. I am your oracle of the light, your seer in the dark. Please grant me that creative spark and allow me to bask in your divine essence through this confusion and stark. I am you and you are me, and voice through me these messages you wish to speak, and blessed be. And so it be like that sometimes. I feel like with this dynamic between you and this individual, this could be the King of Cups in reverse that we were reading on a month or so ago, maybe even a couple months ago. This could be someone totally different. Please put the energy where it fits. Know that this reading is timeless. And so whenever you find it is when it was meant to stumble upon you. It could be speaking of your past, your present, your future. And please just put the energy where it fits, meaning he could be a she could be a he, they could be a they. I could pull a King of Swords and be talking about your Aunt Marjorie. Please just put energy where it fits. Mucho apreciado. With that, again, let's dive in. I am probably going to start off, since I was like handling this mindlessly. I'm going to start off with the G Witch deck. I'm not going to say the original name because that is a slur, a Romani slur I learned. So the G Witch deck. My girl is out there causing trouble, isn't she? I don't know if you guys can hear her. Give me just a second. Alright, sorry about that. I needed to make sure my little Stinky was being a good girl. Baby girl, you got more food if you're hungry. I filled up your bowl. She's like, I don't care. But yeah, we're going to use the G Witch Oracle deck. That actually sounds more fun. The G Witch. We some G Witches up in here. Alright, forgive me for being so cheesy. Let's go ahead and dive right in. Negative energy may not stay. I release it and send it on its way. Negative energy, I banish thee and is my word, so mote it be. Negative energy may not stay. I release it and send it on its way. Negative energy, I banish thee and is my word, so mote it be. Okay, let's go ahead and pull some from Mystic Monday's Oracle deck. This is by Miss Grace Wong. This is probably going to be a fairly quick message, especially since I just got the download today. I feel like there could totally be, ooh, King of Pentacles in reverse. I feel like there could totally be a lot of developments in terms of this situation. Ooh, Three of Pentacles in reverse. I heard triangulation. I also heard Tessellate by Alt J. I might write that down. Let me see. Someone is really trying to come in and create a triangle where there doesn't need to be one. At least it feels that way right now. Let's see. Tessellate by Alt J. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Cool. Tessellate. Okay, let's pull a couple more. I have a few decks I'm going to be pulling from today. I feel called to split it and go ahead and bridge it. Oops, let's do that a little better. There we go. Princess of Wands in reverse. A couple more, please. And uno más. Three of Wands, okay. Okay, I got two out here. Strength, Princess of Pentacles. Okay, Princess of Cups. Okay. And then I am also going to be pulling from the Heal Yourself Oracle deck, and this is by Miss Ina Siegel. I'm going to pull a couple from here. I'm honestly just probably going to fast forward this. Cool. And I'm going to pull a couple from Karma Cards by Monty Farber. Okay. Okay. And let's pull some from the Mermaid Messages, or Messages of the Mermaids, by Karen Kay with artwork by Linda Olson. I'll grab that here in a sec. Okay. got a lot going on here. A lot going on. Let me put these down here. So for Mermaid Oracle, we have Dive Deep in reverse. We have Miracles, right? Yep, Miracles in reverse. We have Innocence in reverse. I'm getting that this could be someone who you feel might have stolen your innocence from you, or might have even stolen your childhood from you. We have Wild in reverse. Now, when it comes to the Heal Yourself deck, I am going to censor a couple cards, such as this one, because, you know, a little sultry, but that's okay. We have Self-Love here. We have Patience in reverse. We have Inner Child in reverse. Oh, yep, that's a fine card. That's good. And then we have Victim Consciousness. And as for from what we have from the Karma deck, we have in the 11th house. That has to do with your circle of friends, freedom, any types of clubs, associations, or groups that you may be part of, doing things for humanity's sake, your hopes and wishes, doing things for the future. And then we have in Pisces. So you could have Pisces in the 11th house, or this person could. We also have in the 10th house. And that relates to your destiny, where you're going in life, as well as your career, especially career. Responsibility, success, becoming a person of power and status at the top of the totem, if you will. Let's see. Overall energy for that, we have in the 9th house. So we have 9, 10, 11. These could be very significant ages for you, and these can also be the houses of which you could be having issues, or they could be having issues, of which they could be attacking in regards to you, or that they're having issues with in regards to themselves. So with the 9th house, we have do it in a big way. So the philosophies and any sort of laws involved with said philosophies, think of it as if it or they came from all there is. So you can really see the 9th house as spiritual values, long-range thinking, or even travel, and what could be shared with others. It's a very communal card. As for the tarot, we have the King of Pentacles in reverse, 3 of Pentacles in reverse, Princess of Wands in reverse. We have the 3 of Wands. We have Strength out here, and we have the Princess of Pentacles. Let me tell you, y'all got a lot of willpower, and when you have a goal, and you know for sure that you can achieve it, there is no stopping you. Absolutely not. And I feel like when you are around this King of Pentacles in reverse, when they try to become a 3 of Pentacles in reverse and get in your way and make you second guess yourself, like the Princess of Wands in reverse, I feel like that's when trouble comes in, and that's when you can have trouble in your 11th house, your 10th house, as well as your 9th house. Now, the bottom of the deck, we have Princess of Cups. A lot of princesses here. So you could totally be in relation to this King of Pentacles. This could be an uncle, a father figure. This could be a boss. This could be someone who utilized means of financial control against you. And they're still trying to kind of do it in the best way they know how, because you don't necessarily have any more financial ties to them. They're trying to create them. So we have from our G.O.A.T Oracle deck, number 33, the Clover. The clover leaf is a bearer of good tidings, but if near the clouds, it denotes great chagrin. If, however, number 2 does not lie near 29 or 28, the chagrin will be of short duration and happiness will follow. So I do not see 28 or 29, thankfully. I also do not see 2. All right, moving on. Number 6, the coffin. The coffin foretells acute illness or loss of property when near the person. When distant, a probability of averting evil. And then we have number 46 in reverse, the crossroads. The railroad. The railroad forecasts a long journey if near 44, a serious accident, if near 29, a robbery. We don't have 44 or 29 out here. Number 43, though, lightning. Lightning denotes surprise, disagreeable in accordance to distance. And then we have number 27, the dog, but it's in reverse. The dog, if near, represents true friends. If distant and surrounded by clouds, beware of unsuspected enemies. Especially next to the lightning, I feel like this individual really is going out of their way to try and get those sneak attacks or surprise attacks in. And they really wanted to cause so much of a stir that, maybe you did your good opportunities that they think that you just happened to stumble upon. Not that you earned them or anything, but that just seemed to have fallen into your lap. For overall energy of that, on the face of the deck, we have number 41, the Rider. Number 14, the Rider, and that's in reverse. The Rider is a sure sign of good news unless alongside 6, 8, 11, or 13. And we don't have any of those out. Nonetheless, I still feel like this person is trying to reach out to you. I feel like you have very little, if not very minimal, contact. We don't really have any swords out here. Nonetheless, I feel like this person also realizes that this connection with you is just no longer really a thing, at least not on your end. And you're not trying to mend the bridge or secure it or even, provide maintenance unless absolutely necessary. You're doing your best to avoid a situation that is just going to essentially tie you down. With the Three of Pentacles in reverse, I feel like this King of Pentacles in reverse often tries to hide behind the guise of, this is for everybody. This is communal. This is he can even be like someone who acts as a family man or someone who utilizes his finances to control other people and, might even make them think that they're part of the family. But they're really not. This person doesn't really seem to care about people like that. I feel like they see you as the Princess of Wands in reverse. Meanwhile, you are becoming the Princess of Pentacles, especially being that is coupled with strength. I feel like you are definitely on your way, especially financially. I feel like you are on your way to financial success, if not at least stability. But in my mind, that is success. So I guess it depends on what your version of success is. But we have the 10th house out here. So obviously this has to do with career. We also have the 11th house, and that can have to do with your associations, your circle of friends, people connections, yada yada yada. And then we have the 9th house as overall energy, which is, philosophy, spirituality, think like Hierophant energy. So traditions, cultures, the way things have been done and always been done. And then we have Pisces here. I feel like Pisces, let's read this card. Spirituality to ultimately experience, trusting your psychic knowledge of resulting from the indecision of or about. Your dreams, your idealization, be a part of something overwhelming and resulting from the indecision of or about. Okay. So I feel like with Pisces out here, Pisces is a really dreamy, very spiritual sign. It's very wet and watery, and I feel like it can just slip through your fingers if you don't do your best to actually understand where Pisces is coming from. Pisces has a lot of feelings. Pisces, much like Princess of Cups out here, some of y'all could be Pisces, sun, moon, or rising. Anywhere in your chart, just put it where it fits. This could even be your Mars. Your Mars could be in Pisces. Your Mercury could be in Pisces. Nonetheless, with Princess of Cups out here, I feel like y'all are definitely in your feelers right now. And I feel like, despite how everything is going, you're doing your best to pull on your big girl pants, your big boy pants, and just continue on as the Princess of Pentacles or Prince of Pentacles. But it is hard, I feel like you shared a pretty strong emotional tie, if not, again, at least financial, to this King of Pentacles in reverse. And they had a lot of say in regards to your finances. I feel like they would take from you lots of money right under your nose. And I feel like there's a lot that they owe to you, but you'll never hear them tell you that, and you'll never hear them admit to that. I feel like it's easier for them to just see you as this wild, incoherent individual who just cannot be reasoned with, especially with the Princess of Wands in reverse and wild in reverse. I feel like we also have victim consciousness out here, inner child in reverse, patience in reverse, and self-love. I feel like you practicing patience with yourself and self-love really irritates this individual. And they're realizing that it is those efforts that you're putting into yourself as well as your inner child. Because I feel like this individual, especially if this was a parent or a guardian of some sort, they definitely, or even a landlord, they definitely did a number on you as a child, or at least your inner child, and your sanctuary, your livelihood. I feel like they had so much control, it wasn't even funny. However, I feel like they themselves are in victim consciousness. They're not in touch with their inner child, and they don't have the patience for you to do what you need to do. So say, for instance, this, was a boss, and they, fired you, but at the drop of the dime, they want you to come by and pick up all of your stuff, but you're already working a shift elsewhere. But they're saying you need to come by right now and come get all of this shit. You left this place a mess. You trashed it. But you could have very well cleaned your desk before you left, and you could have grabbed as much as you could before you left. Excuse me. It could be things like that. This person doesn't want me to talk. They can be a heavy smoker. I don't smoke cigarettes anymore, but they can definitely be a heavy nicotine smoker or tobacco user. I feel like they definitely try to, with the dog in reverse and the rider in reverse, they do try to seem like someone who is kind and trying to maneuver with the best intentions, and that they're a true friend, if anything, because number 27, the dog, that represents a true friend. However, if distant and surrounded by clouds, it also represents unsuspected enemies. And this is in reverse. I feel like this is someone who is able to get away with as much as they get away with because nobody suspects them. Because why would someone in their position act this way? Does that make sense? When you were around this person, it felt hopeless. Again, it feels like they drained you of your childhood, your innocence, of your ability to feel a lot of things outside of hurt. And I feel like a lot of you are still healing from this triangulation. If this was a parent, or, this, let's go back to the boss thing. If this was a boss, they could have triangulated you. They could have, picked another employee to go about harassing you, or to go about picking you apart and pedestaling that employee, and that employee living for that moment of being pedestaled because, they like to kiss ass, and that's okay. But nonetheless, I feel like there is a lot of insertion that doesn't need to be here. And I feel like You have definitely moved on. Your ships are coming in. You're definitely seeing where all your labor is going now. Because I feel like prior to that, this person, they had no respect for you. They did not acknowledge most of what you did. So, again, if this was work, anything that you brought to the table, it wasn't enough and it would be criticized. So, say you're a janitor and you clean the bathroom and you probably cleaned it better than most janitors. This person is still going to figure out a way to complain about it and say that you left it a mess, that you completely trashed the place, and they're going to have said employee, other employee, the favorite, right? The golden child at the time. They're going to have other employee come look at the bathroom when you're done to inspect it. You're an adult, but this individual, I feel like, especially if this is a parent or a guardian, they still see you as a child, as this wild child. They can't come to terms with the fact that you have grown up, and they can't talk to you like a grown up. I feel like you putting this connection into the coffin and no longer continuously walking that long journey of the railroad with this person is no longer robbing you of your time, your effort, your energy, your patience. Because I don't know anybody who would have the patience for an individual such as this. I feel like this person is really greedy. We have the King of Pentacles in reverse. I mean, come on. I feel like this person is financially insecure and unstable. They don't necessarily know how to become stable. They did rely on other pieces of the puzzle, other pieces of the triangle to stay afloat, but they would never admit that. Let's say, this was someone who you were renting a room from. They needed you there, and they explicitly told you that. They told you they were in debt. They needed help financially. They charged you an explicit amount of money. They didn't do any repairs. They let the room go to shit. They probably weren't the best roommate. They were always annoying you, always in your face, always staring at you, just doing stupid shit, right? Like doing things that a landlord shouldn't be doing, but also not doing the things that a landlord should be doing. But yet, you're held to a different standard. You're held to higher expectations. They expect miracles from you. They expect you to do the deep dive and to work on yourself, but not too much so that they can still keep you around. So that you keep them around, because honestly, you don't need them. They need you. This person, they need you. They get their fulfillment from individuals just like you. But now you're the Princess of Pentacles, the Prince of Pentacles, and you have found your inner strength. And though this person may feel like they're doing a good job of robbing you of the things that are making you happy and robbing you of the healing that you're doing, and it's been a long journey. I feel like them continuously doing their best to try to rope you into some sort of disagreement or some sort of emotional reaction, it's because they are feeling these ways. Misery loves company. We still have the clover out here. The clover is a reminder that good tidings will come after the chagrin. Okay? This is just a little hiccup, a little bump in the road. It's not going to be a massive bump. It's not going to be something that is painstaking. This is one more bump. And after this, if you choose to be, you are scot-free. You don't ever have to deal with this individual ever again. If you so choose to no longer deal with them. When you were with this person, it had you questioning yourself a lot. With Deep Dive in reverse and Miracles in reverse, you were questioning yourself so much that you didn't know whether or not the way you were experiencing reality with this individual and the situations that they were putting you through, oftentimes you were convincing yourself that you were the problem. You didn't do the deep dive to really look at things and see that, yeah, maybe it was actually this person. And neither did they. It was easier for them to scapegoat you. With Miracles in reverse, I feel like while you were with this individual, this could have even been like a partner, an ex-partner. Put it where it fits. While you were with this individual, it felt hopeless. It felt like, any sort of spirituality. We have Pisces out here. I feel like y'all need to get in touch with your spirituality and your inner child a little more. Get back to your roots. But any sort of miracles, spirituality, magique, all of that was out the window when you were interacting with this individual because things felt that bad. The lightning and the chagrin and the railroad and the coffin, it all felt that bad. Every day it was something. Every day. Like no matter what, it was something. And they would egg it on. And they're the kind of person who would do their best to back you into a corner and make it look like it's all you. And they have so many people wrapped up in their bullshit that these people would believe them. Believe in miracles, because I feel like, one, it was a miracle that you got away from an individual like this, and two, you're on your way to status. You're on your way to some sort of career success. You're on your way. So please keep dreaming. Please keep believing in miracles. Realize that your inner child is definitely in need of some healing. Realize that your patience is wearing thin with this individual for a reason. And that right now is a good time to love yourself through the situation and through the hurt that this may be causing right now, especially if this was a guardian or a parent. Because I feel like there could be a lot of hurt and a lot of pain. A lot of things that this King of Pentacles in reverse just does not have the cojones to acknowledge that they did. They don't have the ability to take accountability for what they did, and that's on them. And now they get to lose out on you. They do not get to come along for this ride. And though it has been a wild ride, you know where you're going. There's that little lantern there. You know where you're going. You know what you're doing. And let them tell it. If they feel like you're not living right, if they want to tell the whole world, let them. I feel like this individual is definitely stuck in victim consciousness. And, with the coffin, they could experience or be experiencing illness. And they could be experiencing a loss, a real hefty loss. But I feel like while dealing with this individual, you could have definitely experienced a loss too. Multiple losses. And I feel like this person They didn't care. They had no consideration for you. But they expect all the consideration in the world. I feel like there's a lot of hypocrisy here. Get in touch with your spirituality again. You'll find strength through your spirituality and through being able to turn this pain into love for yourself and loving yourself the way that you deserve. Creating your stability is a huge step toward giving yourself the love that you deserve. I feel like this person feels like you're achieving something better than they could have ever given you. And they wanted to keep you trapped with them and financially reliant on them. And seeing that you are thriving without them, I feel like they could have even thought that, like, you know, ooh, I just heard Roots by In This Moment. But I feel like they could have even felt like you just were not going to do well without them. In this moment. And they had this assumption that, you know, you were fair. Oh, hi, baby.
Hi there.
Hi, my love.
Hi.
I did a reading.
Oh, hell yeah. I hope it's going well. Don't let me interrupt.
I'm pretty much almost done.
Awesome. You do your thing. Wrap it up.
Take a dab after.
Yeah.
I love you.
I love you.
I'm happy you're home.
I'm glad you're getting home.
That was my baby. But yeah, I think I'll go ahead and wrap it up here. I think y'all got the gist. And I'm going to upload this as soon as possible. By all that is divine, I will now close and exit this reading. Thank you for illuminating the path and for not retreating. Our session has now come to an end, and this advice I shall not bend. Please be safe on your path and keep me safe in the aftermath. Blessed be. And so it be like that, y'all. Catch you later.
Fuck yeah.
I love you.